Hello there, welcome. Young Estella was born in 1964 with half black and half white hair. She has always had a rather fierce attitude and a creative passion. Her mother Catherine calls her Cruella after noticing Estella promised to behave at a private school Catherine brings her. Still, the other kids make fun of her because of her hair. Her only friend is another female called Anita as well. Along with a puppy she discovers and labels Buddy. Estella is kicked after wreaking a lot of trouble at the school. Laments their circumstances, Catherine goes to seek her company, which is holding a winter gala at their estate, Hellman Hall, for help. Estella is told to remain in the car by Catherine, but she briefly leaves to take in the celebration. Sneaking into the mansion, Estella and Buddy find her, always passionate about fashion, in wonder of all the gowns and outfits at the event. Buddy sadly leaves, and Estella follows after him and comes upon John, a valet. Estella flees him, and 3 ferocious Dalmatians are after Buddy. Estella bolts outdoors when Catherine is chatting with Baroness von Hellman, her boss. Estella sees the Dalmatians speed by her, and jump on Catherine hard enough to propel her over the brink of a precipice to her death. The partygoers outside discover the Baroness lying and asserting Catherine was trying to accost her for money. Estella rides in a garbage truck with Buddy. Estella arrives at Regent's Park in London, where her mother had suggested she should visit. She also discovers she is lacking the necklace her mother had handed her for grip-on. She nods out beside the fountain and is discovered 2 delinquent lads next morning, along with their dog Wink, brothers Horace and Jasper Batten. They run across Estella and start to swipe from the fountain. Jasper finds her lacking a family, and when an officer arrests them, the 3 flee together. Estella comes to hide with the lads, and Jasper advises Horace to keep her close by, because having a daughter can make her look to be an innocent diversion to those folks they intend to plunder. Estella colors her hair to complement the plans and be indistinguishable. 10 years later, Estella still carries off crimes alongside Horace and Jasper. Estella keeps developing her fashion ideas to help herself as well. The brothers surprises Estella on her birthday with a job offer for the Liberty department store downtown. Jasper had seen her glancing at the spot constantly. She thanks them really highly. Estella starts her job at Liberty as a cleaning lady. Regarding a horrible manager called Gerald, he never lets Estella put up her thoughts and treats her cruelly. Bring her food, Horace and Jasper, and Horace believes the place can be taken. Still, Estella wants to work honestly, just to have the garbage she is removing dumped onto her when the bag tears open. Gerald then calls her back in, tells her to tidy overnight. That evening she pilfers a vodka bottle from his office, then proceeds to view the window display, which Estella finds ugly. Estella wakes up next to the window hung over, along with Horace, Jasper, and other customers seeing the exhibit, which Estella drastically altered to better fit her aesthetic. Gerald sees and gets ready to blast Estella, till he finds out the store owner, the Baroness, is on her way. Estella covers with Jasper and Horace, who then take some treats and nick Gerald's wallet. Actually enjoying it, the Baroness wonders who did the window display. Estella is the offender according to Gerald, and is being sacked as well. She rather tells her helper Jeffrey, though, to hand Estella her business card. Estella goes off celebrating going on up with the Badoons. Estella starts working for Baroness at her residence, developing thoughts and designs for clothing. She picks out right away that the Baroness is a soulless, frigid woman. She solely faults the output of her companies, and exhibits somewhat sociopathic behavior, such cutting the sleeves off Estella's design using a razor, not caring either when she unintentionally nicks Estella's hand. Following employment, she pauses by a store run by Artie. Estella likes his style, hence who fast becomes acquainted with her. She also sees a scarlet garment the Baroness created in the window. Over her working career, Estella demonstrates the Baroness that she really does have a knack for design. Still, Estella tunes indifferently toward the Baroness when she finds out she is sporting her mother's necklace, though the Baroness says it's a family legacy. When she tells Estella that a past company attempted robbery, then collapsed off a cliff, Estella starts to hate the Baroness just purely. Estella brings the word to Horace and Jasper, seeing it as a chance to carry off a theft, especially when the Baroness is scheduled to throw a next gala. Estella commits the Baroness's timetable to memory, and how the guards move and operate to scheme for the heist. She is aware that should she try to show up, she will be identified. She does, however, know someone who can show up. On the evening of the gala, under the cover of pest controllers, Horace and Jasper slip into the premises, using Wink as a phony rat. As the theft starts, Jasper heads for the surveillance cameras. Estella leaves her wig off and keeps her natural hair, showing up as Cruella in disguise. And when she wore the Baroness's attire she came upon in Artie's store, she shocks everyone that shows up, including the usually bored Baroness. Anita is also watching in shocked state, a journalist who also identifies Estella from her hair. Before sitting with the Baroness, Estella subdues the guards of the Baroness. As Horace gets to the safe with the jewelry, he discovers it vacant. Estella also notes the Baroness sporting it. As the Baroness notes Cruella is invading territory, Jasper starts some rats off toward the celebration, distracting Estella enough to get the jewelry off the Baroness and turn it over to Buddy. The Baroness's Dalmatians unfortunately come out, and one of them tries to undo it from Buddy, then swallows it. The Baroness is controlling the canines with a whistle, Estella notes. She applied this also at Catherine's death. In other words, the Baroness called upon her hounds specifically to murder Catherine. Following the trailer of their truck, Estella hotwires a car to escape the Badoons and their hounds. Estella pauses to sob over the knowledge that her boss killed her mother. Early tomorrow morning, Estella is still behaving as her Cruella character, getting Jasper and Horace ordered to pilfer the Baroness's pets. One of them can sew past the necklace. Estella then leaves for Anita's employment, still Cruella, and orders her to share her personal achievements with others. In line with this, as they are getting baths, Horace and Jasper discover the Dalmatians, and they persuade them to come out using Wink as lure. Before hauled away in a vehicle, Cruella starts to crash many more Baroness gatherings shortly, and with Anita writing it for the paper, Cruella starts to take fashion front stage, totally undermining and overshadowing the Baroness. She becomes more and more restless, even firing her attorney Roger for not getting Cruella arrested, then orders Estella to create a fresh design for a forthcoming spring collection show. Estella designed the dress and orders a unique material. This the Baroness finds really impressive. She intends to claim credit for it, but Estella has Horace and Jasper slip into Baroness's residence, then stir things to give it the impression that Cruella sought to enter, taking the Baroness to have her gowns kept in a very secret vault. Back home, Estella's growing conceit has started to sour her connection with Horace and Jasper. The Baroness shows her spring collection. Still, when they open the vault, a swarm of moths bursts forward, having perused practically all the gowns. This is so because unique cocoons were the fabric Estella used to create her garment. Aside from Horace and Jasper, supported by Artie, put up a real performance, where Artie voices, "I wish to be your dog." Then Cruella shows up sporting a Dalmatian fur outfit, leading the Baroness to believe Cruella killed her dogs. When Estella gets back at home, she discovers Jasper and Horace chained up, with the Baroness and her henchman determined Cruella is Estella. The henchman hooks Estella to a chair. Estella retorts, she knew the Baroness killed her mother, but by her words, she is supposed to have killed people, when she doesn't know right away who Estella is referring to. With the Baroness expecting Horace and Jasper, framed for burning Cruella in a fire, she goes from Estella, including Buddy and Wink.to burn. Estella, though, notices an enigmatic man approaching to pick her up. The place collapses, and word of Cruella's death travels. Estella finds herself in John's house waking, with Buddy and Wink as well. He brings her the necklace Catherine wore. Tell her it has been completely bleached as well, which shocked Estella. It also has a box's key. Within the box is an Estella birth certificate. John then tells us the Baroness is Estella's actual biological mother. Though the Baron did want for children, the Baroness felt her achievements would be hampered by motherhood. She so gave John instructions to have the baby killed following her birth, but he then came across Catherine and handed her Estella as well. She can thus be reared right. Startled and in astonishment, Estella bolts, taking a motorbike from a delivery lad. She backs up to Regent's Park. She addresses the area Catherine-wise. She is incredulous to be misled about Catherine not being her mother. She still felt her as such, and now chooses to adopt Cruella as her new name. Estella bursts through the front of the police station in a vehicle, then sets Blink inside to acquire a key to Horace and Jasper's cells. Even if they flare up, their treatment by Estella still makes them furious. Following her revelation to them of the Baroness as her actual mother, they head back to John's house, where she claims her family consists in Horace and Jasper. Then they get together to develop a last strategy to bring down the Baroness. Later on, Estella visits Artie as well for assistance. Horace returns using the Panther de Vil automobile owned by the Baroness, and Estella finds the name sound appealing. The Baroness invites again another ball, where everyone else present is honoring Cruella with wigs. Estella poked the Baroness with a pin, Long enough to grab her dog whistle, she is distracted. She brings the Dalmatians outside by the cliffside using it. Horace, Jasper, Artie, and John call others to begin leaving. Estella brings the Dalmatians under control. At last tells the Baroness she is her daughter. The Baroness once more claims responsibility for Estella's brilliance and poses as wanting to run the company alongside her. She walks up to her looking like she would hug her, but rather drives Estella over the brink. Everybody may observe this. Estella fortunately got ready for this, and she stops her fall with a parachute. As the Baroness is being taken into custody, Cruella comes, once more shockingly surprise everyone. Through story, Estella shows Cruella her will bequeathed, knowing Baroness would attempt murder of her, which leaves her with the money of her mother now. Cruella honors Estella at her funeral, then gets Horace and Jasper plus Buddy Wink, and the recently returned Dalmatians from the estate. Together among the crew are John and Artie. Cruella promises the brothers she has some major ideas in mind. At Roger's house, Cruella leaves a Dalmatian puppy named Pongo, also another named Perdita in Anita's house. Roger, who turned into a songwriter lately, starts to pen the famous theme tune for Cruella. Thanks for watching.